Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you guys how I turn this princess style pen, sparkly bits and all. It was my first time using a carbide tip tool. I got mine from Tommy G's workshop. You should definitely check him out if you're not already. I'll put a link right over here, but let's just go ahead and get started.
The first thing you want to do to prepare your blank is to lay out your tubes so you can cut the blank to length. Just make a little mark and then use a straight edge to make sure everything's lined up correctly. Here I'm using my bandsaw to cut along the marks that I made earlier. You don't have to use a bandsaw for this. You can use any saw that you want. You can use a scroll saw, you can use a hand saw, whatever is going to get you a straight line. Once both sides are cut, go ahead and take a permanent marker and mark it with arrows so you know which way to orientate it on your lathe. Horizontal drilling is my preferred method of boring out the blank by mounting it in my Nova chuck on the headstock and a Jacob's chuck on the tailstock, but you could just as easily get the same thing done using a drill press or another method. This particular kit uses a 10mm for the top piece and a 8mm for the bottom piece. The next thing you want to do is go ahead and glue the tube onto the blank. You can do this with epoxy. I personally like CA glue. This is a thick flex one, specifically made for pen turning. Once it's in there, I just hit it with a quick splash of accelerator. Your next step is to use this tool called a barrel trimmer. You're using this to square up the end of the blank so that the tube will meet directly with the bushings when you mount it on the lathe. As I mentioned, this will be my first time using this beautiful new tool that I got from Tommy G's workshop. You'll need bushings that are designed directly for the kit that you're trying to make, and then follow the directions on how to mount that to the lathe, and from there you'll go ahead and start shaping your pen. I'm loving the new Carbide tool. My traditional tools never used to make ribbons this long, so I'm very happy so far. Now that I have a profile that I like, I went ahead and I cleaned up the area, and what I like to do is start wet sanding with 600 grit sandpaper and then move directly to the micro mesh, which lets me go from 1500 grit all the way up to 12,000 grit. And to finish off acrylic pens, I like to use this friction polish designed for plastic. I think it really brings out a nice shine to the pens. Before taking it off the lathe, I always like to do a close inspection to look for any mistakes, because once it's assembled, it's a lot harder to fix than when it's still on the lathe. Each pen kit will come with its own set of instructions on how to get it together. Here I'm just using my pen press to assemble the pieces for this kit. If you don't have a pen press, you can use a clamp and get the same results.